Hello and welcome to the Linux Panic YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be going over a few cybersecurity practices that everyone should be paying attention to. But first, before we proceed any further into the video, I'd like to thank my channel members, Mislav and David Williams, for being members of the channel. They get early access to videos like this one right here, as well as a little badge next to the name on both videos and live streams, as well as me thanking them at the start videos. So, thank you both. Anyway, let's get into the video. So, as of recently, there have been plenty of cybersecurity issues around the world, and quite a few of them based in Australia as of recent. So I feel like it's probably a good idea to go over... Hang on. Sorry, I just felt like the phone was about to fall over. I feel like I should probably go over a few of these things and make it a bit clearer as to why you might need them and why it is a good idea to employ said cybersecurity measures. So recently, well, a while ago, the first video I did in this like little cybersecurity series, or whatever you want to call it, was when the US Department of Labor Relations had its data stolen by Doge and then bad actors. So realistically, we'll start there for potential mitigation strategies. Now, ideally, you would never let anyone, doesn't matter who they are, you'd never let anyone have unfettered, unmonitored access to anything. Like, you'd have some form of logging in place just as a general, they've accessed this, they've done that, so on and so forth. Which is kind of like the base security thing you'd want to employ. Then you've also got the fact that they removed multi-factor authentication from access. Now, as a result of said multi-factor removal, that then leads to the potential for data to be stolen from anywhere in the world if you were using a mobile device, not a desktop, a mobile device. As with what they did, any mobile device usage removed using a mobile device did not have the same geolocation restrictions or multi-factor restrictions that logging in a physical computer would have, which is problematic. Then, if we move away from the Qantas issue, well, move away from the US Department of Labor Relations, and then move to here in Australia, there was also an issue with TPG. One of their subsidiaries, iiNet, had a lot of data stolen. Specifically, a lot of consumer data stolen as a result of poor cybersecurity practices. Again, multi-factor authentication was one of the issues that were brought up. Now, as we all know, most platforms these days will shout at us going, hey, we recommend that you use multi-factor authentication. Can we send you a text or an email? Whilst yes, this serves as a decent, but not great, as a decent form of two-factor authentication, it is easily circumvented and easily broken. Because if, for example, someone really, really wanted to get into your account, they could go through the effort of spoofing your phone number, if they know your phone number, or going to your telephone provider, mobile provider, for example, I don't know, Telstra or Optus or Vodafone, and go, hey, I've lost my phone and SIM card, can I please have a new one issued? Here's identifiable information that could be used. That, for example, would be enough to spoof someone's phone, because a lot of the time they won't actually kill off a previous SIM card, because it would then kill off the telephone number, which is then problematic. When it comes to getting two-factor via email, whilst yes, it is technically, and I do mean technically, more secure than a telephone number. The problem is, if someone's already got access to your email account through data leak from previous data leaks, then it's already too late. So there are multi-step processes that you can actually use to prevent, or at the very least limit, the impact of cybersecurity issues based off of what I'm about to tell you. So, common choices these days, along with your email and your telephone number, getting a text, there's also authenticator apps and hardware keys. These authenticator apps produce a 6-digit code that refreshes once every 20 or 30 seconds. Now, I personally recommend Authy or Google Authenticator, as those are the ones that I use, and they help massively when switching between phones or when upgrading from one phone to the next phone. You don't lose all of your authenticators, which is good. But I personally recommend Google Authenticator and Authy, because those are the ones that I use and they work. You'll be asked to scan a QR code that then produces the authenticator and then lets you log in. The benefit of them is, without said authentication code, you can't even log in. Or hardware security. Now, I have forever preached the benefits of having a Yubico YubiKey, because that is what I use. It is physically in my hand, and without you being physically in my hand or holding this in your hand, you ain't getting it. You ain't getting in. I have lost this a few times because sometimes I have the memory of a goldfish, which would be insulting to a goldfish because I have a 3-month memory. Either way, I can put this down somewhere, forget where it is, and then have Google go, hey, we want to refresh your access token to something. You need your key. Which then leads me to the problem of going, bugger, I don't know where it is. Or I know exactly where it is, I just can't be bothered to go get it right now, so I don't log in. I can't log in, which is the benefit of security, like physical security keys. So yes, there are others other than Yubico with a YubiKeys, but I use a YubiKey. The reason why I use a YubiKey is because it works not only with my phone, it works with my desk, works with any computer that'll accept a USB-C or USB-A. In my case, I have a USB-A to C adapter because this is USB-A. This also has NFC on it, so it works with my phone, which is really bloody good. Well, it works with anything that accepts NFC, which is good. Now, there are, of course, other means for getting access to things. There are other means of security with Google accounts. They give you the option to send a notification to your phone and go, hey, is this you trying to log in? And they'll tap this number on your screen and then say if it's you or not trying to log in. So you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting it right. So whilst yes, it could work, no, it's not ultimately secure because it's still a 1 in 3 chance, and so on and so forth. Like, yes, you'd still have to have the physical device in your hand or have logged in previously, but then again, that requires circumventing one layer of security to get past another to be able to physically see the security code. So 6 of one, half dozen the other. Ideally, the ultimate way to make sure you'd be more secure is just don't have any form of online access to anything, which is not realistic in modern society. Well, in current day society, should I say. We are modern society. And then moving on to the final issue, final coverage, the Qantas data leak from earlier on this year, where they had hundreds of thousands of addresses leaked, so along with the Qantas frequent flyer points, frequent flyer miles, kangaroos, whatever you want to call them, how 33% of the Australian population collects Qantas points, like that sort of thing, was stolen because of the fact that the data location was overseas through a third party, and that was a social engineering attack. Training for your cybersecurity is ultimately the number one preventer of these issues. Now, we could harp on day in, day out, going, oh, this is good, this is bad, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. It's all well and good saying this, but if it's not actually taught and practiced, it's as useful as a chocolate fire guard on a motorcycle. In other terms, it's not. It's all well and good to say, yes, you should do it, but if you don't practice the steps, like me, then what's the point? Because I preach what I practice. Well, I practice what I preach even, sorry, I'll get the words right eventually. But I practice what I preach because it is the right thing to do for my personal data security. Without this, I can't get into anything. But without this, nobody can get into anything. So if I lose this, I'm screwed. So I can't lose it. This is why I store it somewhere secure when I'm not using it. But the point being is, unless you practice what you learn and what you preach, there is no point in actually trying to attempt to be secure, because you just won't have it. So the ultimate rundown is practice what you preach or practice what you learn. Employ proper cybersecurity practices such as data logging, file access, that sort of thing. Make sure you have decent multi-factor authentication. Going by text and email is the bare minimum, and it is not good. It is decent, but it's not good. If possible, employ more than one multi-factor, such as YubiKeys or hardware keys or that sort of thing. I employed those. Anyway, I hope you like this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike. They both seem to work, even though you can only see one of them. And remember, when you use Linux, don't panic. I have been Nick. You have been amazing. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.